What is happening, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy C Dub, and I'm live. Today, I'm going to talk about a lot of different stuff, but I had a topic in mind. I had a topic that I wanted to talk about right off the get go. And so I wanted to get into that. And then as people start to trickle in and we get more viewers, I wanted to, go in and ask some questions. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was just the intermittent fasting part and how to speed up your results. So a lot of people want to know, how can I get the fastest results, the best results? How can I get through all that stuff? So it's real simple. Hey, what's going on there, Boxing? It's good to see you, buddy. It's a real simple thing. The first thing you got to do is you got to get used to it. So whether you're going to start at a 12-12 or 16-8, you got to get going in the feel of that, and then reduce your window down. The lower your window is, the better results you're going to get. But a few quick tips that you can do to make sure your intermittent fasting gets the best results is not only shrinking your window, but making sure that you're doing some kind of fasted exercising, walking, going to the gym, doing whatever it is you want to do. Hey, what's going on, John and Felicia? It's good to see you. I got people's questions coming, I promise. So ultimately speaking, if you can go to the gym fasted and you can get a workout in, you can start building that fat burning mode, the better off you are. And if you can get a cardio session in early in the morning, that allows you to burn through the glycogen that you took in from the night before and get into fat burning mode even faster. So I think that's a huge part of what you need to do in this journey. So a couple other tips you can do to make intermittent fasting a little bit better, a little bit faster, is maybe cut back a couple of the carbs, stick to the fruits and vegetables, get your carbs from there. Those kind of things will speed you up a little bit. Smaller windows, make sure that you are staying consistent with it. You're not falling off the wagon. You're not doing those kind of things. And if you do those things, I think it'll speed your intermittent fasting up. But the good news is people are already starting to roll in. We've got 9 people watching now. So we can kind of hop right into the main thing, which is I wanted to answer you guys' questions today. And I got flooded with questions. So, but before we get into the questions, I want to take a minute to make sure you guys that are watching, make sure you hit that like button, because the more people that hit that like button, the more they're going to stick my live up on other people's profiles. And maybe we can get some new people in here and they can become weight loss warriors and they can enjoy the stream and maybe learn something. So I asked questions in a couple of different places. I got them right here. And I got a lot of different answers. I'm going to attempt to try to get the names of the people on there, but the Reddit names sometimes can be a little funky. But I'm going to get the questions. I've got 25 questions to answer. So I'm going to get rolling on that. As I roll through this, if you have questions, please drop them over on the side over there. I'd appreciate it. There's no questions that I won't answer. I also wanted to let you guys know that I do believe Super Chat is available as well. What a Super Chat is the $ down in the corner. If you click on that, you can make a donation to the channel. Not asking you to do so, but you can do it, and you can comment or ask a question. I'm going to answer your question whether or not you do that. It's just a way of supporting me if you felt like doing so. No pressure whatsoever. But I'm going to hop right into the questions. So first and foremost, the first question is, what was my defining moment? When was it? Was there a certain time when I woke up and said, you know what, now I want to lose weight? And to kind of answer that, I have to go back into when I was overweight my whole adult life. So it was very difficult for me to lose weight, and I wanted to all the time. And I was always trying to come up with a scheme or a plan. There was no major defining moment. I guess if you have to put your thumb on it, it was seeing the podcast. I saw the Joe Rogan podcast with Rhonda Patrick. And when Rhonda Patrick said that you can lose weight, not changing what you eat, but changing the time you eat, I got really interested. And then I did it just to test it. And the test of one I started losing weight, and that was it. Once I realized, wow, you can actually eat what you want to eat and still lose weight, it was a game changer for me. It's what I've been looking for my whole life. No other way I would do it. Hi, Emma. It's nice for you to be here. I'm glad. If you're new to my channel, thank you. Thank you for being a part of my channel, being a weight loss warrior. I appreciate you, Emma. I hope you hang around and continue to be a part of the channel. So I really do appreciate you. So the next question was one that I thought it basically was what to do in a plateau. And the person that asked it, I can try to find their name, but I'm just going to go through the Reddit people without reading their names because it's a little bit complicated. I wrote down their questions. But what do I do when I get into a plateau? And here is the situation I'm going to paint there. I thought I did a video on this. I really did. I was like, I did a video on it, but I was scrolling through my feed and I didn't really see one. So expect a video in the future based just on this topic, because I think I could spend a good 10 minutes on what to do if you get to a plateau. And I think that it would be very helpful. But just as a quick thing, the first thing you can do is shrink your window. If your window is a 8-hour window, you can move it to a 6. If it's a 6 to a 4 to a 2, a 2 to a 1 kind of deal. If you're doing OMAD and you're plateauing, my advice is to do what I did and start skipping Mondays. When I hit my big plateau, I skipped Mondays. And this person that asked me the question said they were a month without losing weight. I also was a month without losing weight. And in that month, I went ahead and skipped Mondays. I didn't eat on them. That gave me a 48-hour fast. So I ate at, like, let's say 5 o'clock Sunday. I ate at 5 o'clock Tuesday. That's a 48-hour fast. And weight immediately started falling off of me. And the other thing I did was I started walking. So if you can incorporate any of those things, I think you'll bust through your plateau and come out on the other side losing weight. So that's what I would say there. So the next Reddit user wanted to know if I did clean fasts or if I did dirty fasts during my fasting window. And that's an answer that is not easy for me to just say, because I did both and I still do both. And I don't think there's anything wrong with what the traditionalist fasting people call a dirty fast. So what is a dirty fast? It means you can have diet drinks or Zevias or some kind of, soda type thing with 0 calories in it. You could put something. Some people would say that dirty fasting also would be like a keto coffee kind of thing. I don't really think that's dirty fasting. I think that's straight breaking your fast, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother story. This is what I would say. Diet Coke, I think, is fine. Most people don't react. There are a small percentage of people that do react blood sugar wise. You can test your blood sugar and see if you're one of those people. But I think that it's fine. If a Diet Coke's going to get you through your fast, go ahead and do it. Or a Coke Zero or a Zevia or whatever. And there's a few people that say they absolutely have to have creamer in their coffee. I suggest you don't. But if it's the only thing that can get you through the fast, go ahead and do it for a while until you get used to it, because your taste buds are going to change, your attitude's going to change, your life is going to change over the course of time. So do whatever you got to do to get through it in the beginning. You'll adjust later. So let me see what John had to say. Using 30-minute break to go on a walk. Now, that's exactly what I do too. For those guys that don't do it, hey, Rose, it's good to see you. Don't understand. I walk every day before work for 30 to 40 minutes. I walk during my lunch and I walk after work. That's an hour and a half, an hour and 10 minutes of walking. It gets me well over 10,000 steps. And then if I do other activities that day, it's just a bonus. I generally end up with about 15,000 steps a day. Using your lunch break instead of eating, going for a walk is a hugely smart thing. John, you're doing the right stuff there. Okay, let me hop in here and ask before I get to what'll be question number 3, let me ask Emma's question here. I want to ask you, which diet is the best, like fasting one? Okay, now that is a controversial topic, because what is best is going to be variant to every person. I mean, somebody's going to tell you keto is best, but I can tell you now, keto wouldn't be best for me. I can't really do it. It's not something that I don't enjoy. That much fat. It just doesn't make me feel right. It's not my thing. So the best diet is the one that works for you. The best diet to burn weight fast, that's a different story. So I think if I had to pick a diet, if I had to say this is the food that everyone in America should eat, it would be fruits, vegetables, and meats. That's what it would be. So yes, that's carbs, protein, and fat, but you combine it all. And if it's whole foods and it comes from a good, clean source, you're going to be okay. So that's my advice. I hope that was helpful. Let me know, Emma. So moving right along, how was it in the beginning? Did I eat healthy, and how long have I been doing it? So I'm in like 18 months or so now. And how was it in the beginning? A lot of people say it's very difficult for them in the beginning. It wasn't for me. I didn't love breakfast. It wasn't my favorite, meal. So in order to get through, breakfast, I just kind of did my own thing there. And I adjusted relatively quickly. I would say that it wasn't difficult at all for me personally. Now, with that said, I think a lot of people struggle with it, and I think it's an issue for a lot of folks. So I don't mean to undermine anyone that has had struggles with it, but I do think for me personally, it wasn't so so difficult. And then the next part of that question was, do I eat healthy? And to some degree, but last night I had pizza. Not tonight. Tonight I had a chicken and rice, but a night before that, our family ate pizza. So I eat both ways, and I am conscious though of when I've eaten bad. And that's one thing that I would give people the advice on is if you're going to go out and you're going to do something that may not be the healthiest, then the next day you should either maybe fast or cut back on your calories or eat something extremely healthy. Make up for the fact that you did just eat a bunch of junk. And I think if you do that, you'll be okay. So let me see what Miss Lafayette has to say. You remember a particular amount of calories you eat during your one meal? I do not count my calories. I would guesstimate 2,000, but it's really hard to eat a lot more than that in a meal. I'd say I eat a massive amount of food compared to the average person and sitting down. So, I think that it takes care of itself in OMAD. I think what you should probably do, try to just eat what you want in your 1 hour window. And then if you are losing weight, you're doing okay. If you're not, then you need to look into your TEED and go to the calculator. Just type that in a Google search. It'll come right up, and then reduce it by 500 and see how you go. But, calories are tricky. And in reality, there have been proven that calories aren't even accurate. So, there's a lot of issues with it, but it does matter. Try not to overeat, but I do not count my calories. And then, so are there any food restrictions was the next question. And no, there's no food restrictions. I do think you can have food restrictions. I do think you can go on your journey and say, you know what, I want to be on this diet or that diet. But I would caution you to understand that if you are doing a particular diet and you come off of it, there will be some weight gain. So what do I mean exactly? If you're doing keto and you lose 110 pounds, and you decide after 110 pounds, I'm going to stick to OMAD, but I'm going to get off of keto, you are going to gain 10 to 15 pounds. Your body is not used to the other stuff. And when you put it in, it's going to go up. And that doesn't matter if it's a low fat diet you're on, a low carb diet you're on, whatever diet you're on, you're going to gain some weight back if you get off of it. So you kind of have to either do that for life or lose enough weight to where if I gain 10 more pounds, you're going to be still okay. So, hey, Amanda, it's good to see you. I appreciate you and all your support. So the next one here. So this was an interesting one because I've never talked about it on the channel. So before I get into that question, if you remember, hit that like button. Look, give me a few more than 10 here, guys, so we get out there and push it. Hey, Outlaw, what's going on? It's good to see you, my man. I hope you're doing well, Outlaw. Let me know in the comments where your weight's at right now. I know I caught maybe a video a day ago of yours, but I haven't seen one. I did not see today's. Maybe I didn't see yesterday's too. So I'd like an update. I'm going to try to catch up on you later on. But this question's never been asked, so I think it's pretty cool to answer here on this live. And this question is, do I use bone broth? And what do I think about bone broth? And the person, said that Jason Fung, suggests doing bone broth. So I have never, ever used bone broth. There it is. Jason Fung obviously knows a lot more than I know. So do I think that there's some credibility or that it should be something you can use? Do I know people have used it? And do I know people have had a lot of success and like it? Yes. But I feel like I have tons of energy on my OMAD. I feel good about myself. So I don't feel like it's something that I necessarily need. So I kind of not really into that. Same thing kind of with the whole snake juice or putting electrolytes, adding them into your water. It's not something that I've ever felt necessary. Water works just fine for me. I'm not too worried about that. The next question I got was, do I use creamer? And I don't drink coffee. So that's that. So no, I don't use creamer. I do think if you could find some kind of I don't even know if it exists, but no fat creamer, that would be the best thing to do. But if the creamer is the reason you're not fasting, then just go ahead and use the creamer for a while until you get used to it. When you get used to it, you can jump right off of it. So Amanda, you just spent the last week in the hospital. Oh no. Heart Smart, most ridiculous collection of debunked buzzwords. It was annoying than a chest tube. Yeah, I don't even understand. Doesn't sound good at all. I hope you're doing better though. I definitely being in the hospital is no fun. I've had myself a couple of run-ins with the hospital with a couple of knee replacements and a couple 9 total knee surgeries. So I know hospital's no fun, and anything to do with your chest is just a bad spot to be. So I got tips for they wanted to know tips for beginners. What are some tips for beginners? And what I would say, the number one thing if you're starting out on this journey is to start slow. Don't rush into it. Don't overdo it. Take your time and build it up. Same kind of thing with the creamer. It doesn't happen overnight. The one thing I've noticed about intermittent fasting is the longer you do it, the more you break your addictions to things. And as you break those addictions, as you break, those things, you start to feel different about food and you start to feel different about your life. And what ends up happening is you start making choices that you weren't capable of making when you started. I couldn't make a good food decision when I was 310 pounds. I couldn't do it. So, for you to tell me, what, hey, look, pass up on that cake. I couldn't pass up on the cake. I needed the cake. It was like a part of me. I had to have it. And, the longer I got into OMAD, and I didn't say no to the cake. I just said later, and I pushed it off till dinner, and I had the cake still, and the longer I did that, the less I needed the cake. And now I have zero interest in the cake. I mean, literally zero interest in the cake. I might have a little interest in like an ice cream, but cake doesn't do anything for me. So ultimately, I think that we all get into situations where we want to make it happen quick and we don't need to. We need to slow our roll. We need to take a step back and we need to, ease into it. And the more we go, the better it's going to be and the stronger it's going to be. So, hey, Jim, what's happening, man? You can relate to the cake. Yeah. I mean, look, Jim, you can leave me a comment, let me know. But I bet you just feel like those kind of foods don't do the same things that they used to do for you. That's one of the beautiful things about this. When do you start fasting on the clock? Right after your last meal? Yeah, well, the term fasting means not eating. So, yes, right after your last meal. Now, when do you break into fat burning zone? If that's what you're asking, Tyrone, that's a different thing. So, you start fasting immediately when you stop eating, but it normally takes between 8 and 12 hours to burn through the food that you've eaten. And that's either burning. A lot of people say, well, that's only glycogen, that's only sugar. That's not true. Even if you're eating keto, you still have stored up 8 to 12 hours of fat and also protein that is being turned into sugar and used in your body or burned in the fat. And either way, you still have to burn through that before you can actually touch into your body fat. So that's why, it's very powerful to stop eating, 4 to 6 hours before you go to bed. And so in the middle of the night, when you're in your deepest rest, you can switch over from the energy you've intaken to your own body fat, and you can start burning that energy. And then if you get up in the morning and you do a workout and you get some cardio going, you are absolutely going to start killing the fat burning in your body, and you're going to be burning the actual fat on you. So that's just huge. Yeah, the same exact way, random dude, man. Yeah, the same way with soda. I totally can see that. I totally can see how you go in and you think have these desires, but once you break out of having to eat, the food stops to get control of you, and you honestly are addicted. We actually get dopamines and cool things out of the foods we eat, and sodas and cake and those kind of things. We actually need them so that we feel more mentally sharp, so we feel good. It gives us a high, similar to doing like a cocaine or similar to doing an actual narcotic. That high comes from the sugar. And when even if you're still eating sugar, because you've learned how to take breaks from it periodically through the day and your body doesn't need to run on it, you stop craving it and you find out you eat far less of it. And it's an amazing cycle. Pedro, you said some people say their experience is kind of heightened, an awareness on OMAD. Have I experienced that? That's a good question. I think I'm sharper. I don't think I forget as much stuff, many things. I think that for example, 2 years ago, before I started this journey, I forgot my keys probably once a week to school, and I'd get to school and I'd be like, "Where are my keys?" And I haven't forgotten my keys in a year and a half. So I do think there's some mental clarity there. I don't think it makes you any smarter. I don't think it's like I can take a test score and do better, but I do think that I'm able to pull memories quicker. I think I'm able to get into myself just a little bit better in my rhythm and everything else. So I appreciate the question. So Jim, you said you woke up feeling drained after a week of OMAD and felt like eating everything in sight for that day, and then you got back to OMAD afterwards. It's not the end of the world to listen to your body like that, Jim. Now listen, now I say that I did 17 months and I've never had a day in that period of time where I just ate whatever I wanted. But I think that it's okay to listen to your body, and if your body's saying, what could be happening there is, like, let's say you didn't get enough iron in your OMAD meal for like a week, and your body's just destroyed because you're not getting that vital thing that it needs. So then you eat everything in sight and you give it what it needed, and then back to OMAD. I don't think there's a problem with that. There's sometimes you do have to listen to your body. What you may find there, Jim, is a multivitamin. With your OMAD meal may make you feel a little bit better, and then therefore you won't need that craving day where you go out and you go crazy. So that's just something there. Thanks for being a great source of information. Hey, thank you, Gabe, for watching. I appreciate it. 1 month, 448 pounds today, 405. That is amazing. And you know what is awesome, Gabe, is that 405 is going to be 399 in no time. And then we're going to be talking to you and you're going to be hitting 300 and keep on cruising down. I have all the faith in the world. You have all the information you need being a part of this Weight Loss Warrior team. I have your back. I'm going to help you, Gabe, and we're going to get you down to a healthy weight. I'm telling you, man, all you have to do is keep grinding, and I will support you in every way I can. All right, Miss Lafayette, if did you ever see your body change significant ways, not significant loss on the scale? Absolutely. There were times, and this is why I tell people you have to measure and weigh, because there was a couple of times where the month of September, I didn't lose any weight. I was struggling in the month of September in my journey. And I was like frustrated because I had done so well. I'd already lost 100 pounds before last September. And now I'm stuck and I felt like I needed to lose more and I couldn't, but I did my measurements and I was losing inches. But let me just explain that real quick. Sometimes your body actually, it has fat cells and the fat cells shrink. So that now there's space. And instead of shrinking everything in the space, it will fill the rest of that space with water. So your weight stays the same. The fat cell is still filled with water and your body is trying to hold on to it because it's like, we're going to store fat real soon. We're going to store fat real soon. We're going to store fat real soon. And then you say, after a while, your body says, wait, no, we're not storing fat. We're going down. And then it flushes all that water out. So when you get stuck like that and you're losing inches, but the scale's not moving, you're going to have a huge weigh-in. Now, maybe not that week, but 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, at some point, your body will flush the water out and your weight's going to drop. So that's just something, in case you didn't know, that's a natural thing that happens. Hey, Norma, it's good to see you. I appreciate you joining me live today. So Gabe, OMAD, black coffee during the day with minimum carbs and no sugar. Yeah, I mean, that's always a good way to go. It's good to hear you take a multivitamin. And Jim, what I would say is, if you're one more time on your point earlier, if you are doing OMAD 360 days of the year and you fall off 5 days because your body told you need to eat, you're still going to be losing weight and you're still going to be so much more healthy. Do it. Don't worry about it. You're fine. Okay. Can I please answer the question you sent before the live stream? Man, I'm getting there. I'm going down the questions, man. I promise. Your channel was like, okay, hold on, Gabe. It's crazy. I thought so much for your channel. It was like blind to see. Hey, man, I appreciate the love. I really do. Thank you for saying you love the interview with Chris. He's amazing. Yeah, I would like to watch him with the Fasting Fat Man. If you didn't see on this channel, I interviewed the Fasting Fat Man, and I'm going to bring him back on here soon in the next couple of months. So the Fasting Fat Man is amazing. You've been going clean for 4 months. Do I ever eat fast food? That's actually a question, random dude, that I got coming up here already in a minute, but I do not eat fast food. I will get into more details when I read their question. Jim says, thanks. Hey, Caroline, it's good to see you. What's my take on alternative day fasting? If you go back 2 videos, I have a whole thing on alternative day fasting. I think it's very powerful. It's not for me, but it can work for you, especially if you're doing real alternative day fasting and you're not eating on your fasting days. So I'm going to take a break 1 second from the chat to continue on down the list. We just did tips from beginners. So what's my favorite meal? Somebody asked from Reddit. And my favorite meal or my go-to meal on OMAD is going to be chicken and rice. As simple as that sounds, I'll put different stuff on it, honey mustard sauce, whatever. But chicken and rice, if I don't have anything else to eat or something that I really enjoy. I actually had a Reddit user ask me how many meals I eat a day. And I mean, in the chat, can you tell them how many meals I eat a day? I eat one meal a day. Come on, man. um, do I eat processed foods? The answer to that question is not really no. I mean, I mean, obviously I do, but it's something that I would rather not. So I think we're almost forced to eat processed foods in the world we live in today. But I try not to eat them. What do I eat? I try to eat whole foods, fruits and vegetables. I hate vegetables, so it's really difficult. But I generally don't watch what I eat. I'll eat whatever is inclined or whatever my wife is fixing. Another person asked, do I count calories? Anybody that's really paid attention on the channel knows that calorie counting is not my thing. How are my blood tests? My blood tests are perfectly good, beautiful. And my blood pressure is as low as it's ever been. So that's amazing. So I appreciate that. Do I have any medical issues or have I had any medical issues doing OMAD? No, I have not had any medical issues. In the beginning, I might have been slightly concerned because I wasn't using the bathroom as much, but then common sense kicked in and said, well, you're eating less, you're using the bathroom less. I have absolutely no medical issues now. So let me get back into the chat for a minute. So I have my take on alternative day. I did that one. Sorry, somebody asked here already, but do you have a calorie budget? Theo, no, I don't. But with that said, I generally would guess it's about 2,000. Dingo, okay. I have tried and failed other diets in my life. So how is this diet different than those? And why haven't you failed at OMAD? Okay, this is why the diet is different than others, because it's not a diet. You don't have to restrict any food to do OMAD. 0 food restrictions. You can do what you want. So what happens is over the course of time, once you get past being hungry, because everybody's going to think they're hungry when they first start. Once you get past being hungry, what's going to end up happening is you're going to end up breaking these addictions. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you start making healthier choices and you realize the power of it. And you also realize, more importantly than anything else, that you're really not hungry all the time, that you're really eating because you're bored, you're eating because of that. So the number one thing I say, what is the difference, is going to be your mindset is going to change. When you do OMAD day in and day out, it is going to change. I'm glad you saw the Fasting Fat Man interview. Crystal, that's awesome. You lost 12 pounds alternative day fasting with 0 calories on your fast day. It works. No, it's powerful. It's powerful. Actually, a question later on that somebody asked me on Reddit is they're doing alternative day with OMAD. So I'm going to give you a take on that. But alternative day fasting, nothing wrong with it, especially, on the 0 calories on your fasting day. I think that's where you need to go, and yeah, basically 36-hour fast. Absolutely. Especially if you're doing a 16 and 8 on your eating day, which I also would advise you to do. Do I ever eat snacks? I absolutely do not eat any snacks whatsoever. If I was to eat a snack, I would eat it with my dinner. And so, in other words, if I wanted a granola bar, I wanted something, I would put it in with my one meal. I'm not going to snack. That's just counterproductive, and I don't need to anymore. I literally have 0 desire to eat outside of my 1 hour a day. And like I've said before, if I get busy and I miss that hour, I won't even eat. So, it just, your mindset changes in time. It really does. You said what well, I'm trying to hit all the questions, man. I'm doing my very best, man. Talking at a mile a minute, right? You love the tomatoes. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Eric, man? It's good to see you. And you're basically doing OMAD. And sorry, your phone died. Okay, but you're back. Well, it's good to see you, Caroline. I'm glad you are back at it. So let me get to the next question here. How often do I eat fast food? Which somebody briefly asked me earlier today, and I said I would get more into it when I got to the Reddit question. That is a question that I wanted to answer because actually I'm going to do a video on going over exactly what I eat, what I would have eaten when I was obese versus what I would eat now. When I was obese, I was eating fast food 2 to 3 times a day. And I was actually thinking about, you guys can let me know in the chat right now if you'd like to see this. I was thinking about getting up in the morning And for the first time in 18 months, going out to Hardee's and getting myself a breakfast chicken sandwich like I used to do, going to McDonald's for lunch and going out to dinner with my family for dinner, having snacks in between, and eating like I ate when I was obese and seeing how I felt and videoing the whole journey. If you guys want to see that on the channel, let me know on the side. I think I'll get sick too, John, but it would be interesting to see. But that I do not eat any fast food. I have not eaten fast food actually in 9 years, if you can believe that, with the disclaimer that Subway and pizza I don't call fast food. If it has a drive-through, I consider it fast food. So even Chipotle, I wouldn't consider fast food. But I do not eat any kind of place that has a drive-through. And I haven't done that because when my son turned 1, I got really sick. And then I started to think, well, if I eat fast food 3 times a day, I'm going to die. I was still overweight, but I started to wean off of fast food a long time ago. I have not eaten McDonald's in 9 years, and I am willing to do it on this channel for you guys if you want me to do it, because I think it would be weird to see how I feel if I ate like I ate when I was obese. I think it would be interesting for me to learn too. So I think that would be cool. How do you do for the holidays with other people who eat 3 times a day? Listen, that's a great question. How I navigate my day for like Thanksgiving, for example, normally my family gets together with a big group for a big lunch, and then normally my intimate family eats dinner. On that day, I'm just going to eat with everybody in that one meal. But I would say this: if you're doing OMAD 360 days of the year and you're missing it 5, you're still going to be fine. So listen, if your family is in town and they want to eat 3 meals and you want to feel like you eat 3 meals, don't overeat your meals, eat smaller meals, go ahead and have 3 of them. And the next day, get right back into OMAD. It's just that easy. You don't have to beat yourself up if you eat 3 times a day with your family once in a while on a holiday. I think it's fine. You definitely like to see that random dude. Me too, man. Yes, I'm definitely going to be sick. Yeah, I think I'm going to film it. It's probably going to be in a couple of weeks, but I think I'm going to film it. Hey, Eric, what's going on, guys? Nurse Eric's here. While he's here, let me plug the Fast Club on Facebook. If you're not a member of the Fast Club, go over there. Nurse Eric runs the Fast Club. It is a huge resource. I think they're up to like 10,000 members now. Huge resource for fasting. You can ask your fasting questions. You can get advice from all kinds of different people from all over the world about what they do in their journey. I get on there, not as much as I want to lately, Eric. I apologize, but I am an admin there. I do get on there. I try to get on there a couple of times a week and answer questions. So you can see me on there. Fast Club is an amazing Facebook group. So when we get off of here tonight, look them up, join them. They're wonderful. Nurse Eric is the man. Do I ever eat more food because I know it's going to be an extra active day? No, I don't. I generally just eat what I'm going to eat. But I will tell you this, Gabe, which is an interesting thing. I have a friend that was an all-American wrestler, and he's one of the toughest dudes on the planet. And he's 45 years old and still got a six-pack and strong and never been fat his whole life. And he once told me that if you eat for what you're going to do, you're never going to be overweight. And that's really good advice. I didn't understand what he meant at first, but now that I've gone on this journey, I do understand. If you have to hike a mountain today, it's probably a good idea to eat and to eat more, because you're going to burn a ton of calories. But if you're going to sit down and play video games today, you probably shouldn't eat as much. And I think that gets lost in a lot of people in our culture and in our society. So I think the best thing to do is to go ahead and, eat for what you're going to do that day. And that doesn't mean if you're going to the gym, but if you know you're going to have a strenuous activity, you're going to run a marathon, you're going to need to be equipped to do that. So go ahead and do that, Yeah, 9 years without fast food, it's been amazing. And, to do that on the channel too. I'm not going to lie. I can tell you right now, you never forget how fast food tastes. I'm going to tell everyone now, a double quarter pounder from McDonald's, I can taste it right now. McDonald's French fries, I can taste it. Those chicken nuggets from McDonald's, I can taste. I'm telling you, I haven't had it in 9 years. I know what a Wendy's double with cheese tastes like. You never forget it. And it's a weird thing that I don't need it anymore. I have no interest in it, but at the same time, I can still taste it. And when I smell it, I know exactly. It's weird, man. It's weird. But I was eating fast food 3 times a day when I was in my late 20s and early 30s. at least twice, and oftentimes 3 times a day, if you can believe that. So let me make sure I've gotten this. Um, what food, what about food addiction? Okay, that's a really good question. Somebody asked me to talk about food addiction. And what to deal with food addiction when you're doing OMAD. And the great thing is, OMAD is going to break your food addiction. OMAD is going to back you off of being addicted to food because of the long period of time that you spend fasting. It's kind of like, if you think about it, if you're addicted to a narcotic, if you spend long periods of time without that narcotic, you're no longer addicted. And the same thing comes with sugar. And when your body figures out that it can run on fat and not on sugar, which can take some people up to 8 weeks, some people can adjust much quicker than that, the food addictions go away. So if you're worried about food addictions and OMAD, the best thing you can do is OMAD. And if you're doing OMAD and you're still addicted to food and you're having issues, long-term fasts, almost everybody that's broken a fast of 72 hours or more comes out of it, and they say that they don't have feelings for food in the same way that they did before. So that's something for you guys to consider. Somebody wanted to know how often I cook and if I have any recipes I can share. That's a great question. I want to tell you guys a couple of things about that. Number one, we probably cook 6 days a week, maybe 7, some weeks, but we do go out once in a while, my family. Like last night, we had pizza. So we do cook often, but do I have recipes? Absolutely. And here's the thing. I'm actually working on them now. So I'm going to give away, I think I'm going to either do a 14-day or a 30-day package for free from my YouTube channel. All you got to do is click on the link and sign up, and boom, it's going to send you these recipes for free. What I'm working on is I'm trying to get 14 that I like that are keto, 14 that I like that are gluten-free, 14 that I like that are just whole foods, 14 that I like that are vegan, and really give people from all walks of life a chance to click on which diet they enjoy and go with it. Because I do think that eating food is an amazing thing, and I want to share recipes, and I think it's a great way to do it. So I've been working on that behind the scenes. I've never talked about it on this channel. I've been working on that behind the scenes since I started, and I'm starting to get to a point where in the next couple of months, I'm going to be able to hook you guys up with recipes. So hang in there with the recipes. Let me catch back up on the chat before I get to this. So no worries. Stay focused on your channel. Keep helping so many people. Keep it up, man. Hey, thank you, Eric, man. I'm trying, man. The channel's doing great. And guys, again, Nurse Eric, he's got a YouTube channel, but I know Fast Club is where his passion is. And there's no better guy than Nurse Eric over there. I'm going to tell you guys, I've met a lot of people. OMAD Caroline's another one that's popped up in the chat today, and the Outlaw. These are great people, man. You guys support them. They'll support you. I know for a fact the Outlaw and Caroline will support you. And the Fast Club, not only will Eric support you, the OMAD Dad, which has his YouTube channel, will support you, and 10,000 other people. And if you ask a question, if you share a before and after with the Fast Club, they're all going to give you love. It's an amazing place to be. Definitely, definitely an amazing place to be. All right, Gabe. You work on a construction job. Yeah, see, I'm going to tell you what. I already know where you're going, Gabe, and I can tell you, I know a few people that have gone through and had to work strenuous jobs. What you can do, you can try this, see if it works for you. Eat your OMAD meal before work. And then that way you're going through your work day and you're having the glycogen to burn at work while you're working construction. And then when you come home, you can taper off of it and you'll be back into fat burning mode through the night. So breakfast may be better for you than dinner. You can at least try it a couple of times and see if it fits. And if it doesn't fit, then you're just going to, adjust to eating fasted. Or you can always eat a little and then right after work and try to space it so it's an 8-hour window and not do OMAD, but at least get 8 hours of eating in, no more than that. And I think, how you want to figure that out is better. But again, hitting that before work, your one meal might help you out a ton. All right. What about carnivore and OMAD carnivore? I got nothing against carnivore. I think if there was a diet out there that I had to do, probably would lean towards that because I love protein. I mean, I love protein. So carnivore, I think a lot of immune problems carnivore helps with. It helps with a lot of deficiencies there. I think carnivore is very similar to keto. I think it's personal preference on that. Both of them can put you in ketosis. Both of them can do a lot of good things. So I don't have an issue with it. I think every diet works. And look, I'm going to say something unpopular right now. Low fat diet works. It's been proven to work. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, I went on a low fat diet and I lost 80 pounds. When I was in high school, part of that was wrestling, but part of that was the low fat diet I was on. And I didn't know any better. I ate all carbs, very low fat, and I lost 80 pounds. Now, I didn't keep it off, but I did lose it. So low fat will work. If you stayed on low fat the rest of your life, you'll lose weight. But is it the right thing to do? Of all the diets, probably the one that I wouldn't do is low fat, but it will work. So absolutely, carnivore will work. If you can sustain it for a long period of time, then more power to you with it. Again, it's not for me, but I do think it will be fine. And you still haven't talked about 24-hour fasts. 24-hour fasts are great. 24-hour fasts, they're 100% wonderful. And Ms. Wells, Felicia, I know you asked a question. I'm going to get to it. It's over here. You asked actually 3 of them. So I have them written down. They're just on the other end of the test. So sorry about that, but I'm getting to them. And 24-hour fasts are wonderful. 48-hour fasts are wonderful. I don't think any of that stuff is a problem. Just stick to water, fast. It can do some good stuff for you. The longer you go, the better. 72 hours seems to be the sweet spot. If you go past 72 hours, you're not getting as many benefits as you got in the shorter term ones, but 24 hours will get you just barely a little bit of autophagy. So that's a good place to be. Have I ever had any bad experiences? I can't think any bad OMAD experiences. I really can't. I haven't ever really gotten dizzy and passed out, or no, I don't think it's there. Tyrone, low fat. No. Hey, listen, it would work though. It's just probably not the most optimal thing to do. 23,000 steps on his Fitbit and eat and not gain. Maybe OMAD. Walking is huge. So, getting 30,000 steps in is just insane. He can eat anything and I hear you. You walking 30,000 steps. You're doing good. And I'm going to get to you eats in 1 second. Let me get a couple more questions in because I know people asked questions beforehand and they want me to get to it. So, doing alternative day fasting and OMAD, is that okay? That's a great question. And let me tell you what, as we sit here right now, alternative day fasting and OMAD together is so powerful. I can't think of what would be more powerful than that. Eating one meal every other day. If you are near maintenance, it's not a good idea. But if you're incredibly overweight, alternative day fasting and OMAD together is going to be powerful because you're going to get your multivitamins and that kind of thing during your, OMAD meal and maybe even on your fasting day. But the body fat that you have, it carries a lot of those nutritions and things you want. So, you can get going on that. One thing to keep in mind when you're really overweight too, though, it's not talked about a lot, but your body is full of toxins and you're burning those toxins too. So you may not feel good in the beginning till you get used to burning it. So that's something, your body stores toxins in their fat. So that's something for you to think about too as you go through. But alternative day fasting with OMAD is unbelievably amazing. I know that also, okay, the next one here was, is TUMAD as good as OMAD? And so it's personal preference. Is it going to burn as much fat? No, not if you're eating the same amount of food in both situations. In both situations, we're eating 2,000 calories. Well, the 2,000 calories in TUMAD is going to spread your carbs out. Maybe if you're on keto, it won't affect you, but it's going to spread your carbs out. And because it's going to spread your carbs out, you're going to have a shorter fat burning time frame. And so the TUMAD will affect you a little bit less, but it's still going to be effective and it's still going to do well. And if that gets you through what you need to be done, then do it. There's absolutely no problem with that. Do I have loose skin? Barely any. There's a little bit on my stomach. I show it every time, I get on here, but there is a little bit there. It's a little bit big guns. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, but a little bit of loose skin, but not anything that I would be worried about. Do I keep the same eating schedule? 90% of the time, yes, I'm eating between 4 and 5. But if there's an event, I'm going to shift my window. I'm going to do that every single time. I do not think there's a problem, and I will give you guys the example I give all the time. But if you eat dinner tonight and you have a breakfast the next morning that you feel you need to attend, and you eat the breakfast, and then you eat dinner the day after that, you just snuck because you had breakfast and then you did not eat that dinner and you ate till the next dinner. You just snuck a huge fast in 36 plus hours. There's nothing wrong with that. So, yes, you had a short fast, but on the other side, you had a very large fast. It works itself out. Shift your window, be social, hang out with your people, do what you got to do. I think it's crazy not to shift your window. I had another person ask me one time, what about they like to drink with their friends once in a while? They want to have a couple of beers and they didn't know what to do. I'm like, eat your dinner right when you're drinking the beers and drink beer for 4 hours. And yes, your OMAD became a 4-hour OMAD instead of a 1-hour OMAD one day. You're going to be fine. If you're doing it 7 days a week, you're not going to be fine. But if you're doing it one day a month, come on, man, you're going to be okay. Now this is a great question. Does low carbs accelerate your weight loss? Guys, unpopular answer probably coming out of my mouth, but yes. If you cut out carbs, you are going to accelerate your weight loss. Here's the kicker though, doesn't mean it's permanent, because the second you reintroduce carbs, your body's going to gain weight back. By cutting out carbs, your body's going to release a lot of water. It's going to do a lot of things. And it's also going to get used to running without carbs. And then when you reintroduce carbs, you're going to have a weight gain. So yes, it will accelerate your weight loss, but it will give you a weight gain later. So you have to balance that out and figure it out, or stay low carb for the long term. That's another way of getting around that as a loophole. So low carb will accelerate your weight loss. Now, this question is the one that jumps off the page at me, and it's dry fasting with OMAD. Is it a bad thing? And I can already say, if Nurse Eric's still watching here, he's probably his mind's going to blow in the comments. I wouldn't dry fast on OMAD. OMAD is powerful enough. We need water. We're like 80, 70 something percent water. Got to drink water. That doesn't mean dry fasting is a bad thing. And it doesn't mean that strategically adding dry fasting into your regimen is a bad thing. What it does mean is it may not be good with OMAD on a day in and day out basis. This person said they were trying to dry fast up until OMAD and then trying to drink as much as they could in a 1-hour window. You're never going to be able to drink enough in a 1-hour window to keep yourself going the way you need to. So what I would suggest is maybe dry fasting. If you want to get that dry fasting, that autophagy benefit, that kind of stuff, try fasting one day of your OMAD week, like saying, you know what, Thursdays is dry fast day, Monday is fast day altogether. That's powerful. And I did that. I skipped Monday and I dry fasted a little on Thursday. I think that's okay. But to not be hydrated at all times, not a good thing. Just saying, just saying. So, and then somebody asked me about soda again, and whether I drink soda now. And the answer to that is, yeah, I drink Pepsi Maxes. I don't, it's not something that I have to have. I can go water. I can go Pepsi Max. I can go combinations of both. Depends on what I'm doing that day. I don't think that having something like, should I drink Pepsi Maxes? No. Actually, the bad part about a lot of those 0-calorie drinks is the coloring of it, if you can believe that. The coloring is the issue, not really the acid they put in it. It's the coloring. But, the best 0-calorie beverage for you, in case you're wondering, is Zevia, the Zevia brand. They don't add the coloring, and it's generally pretty healthy for you, not much different than drinking water. So if you want to go a route that way, you can go that way. But I know that the 0-calorie drinks don't really affect me. So if I want one, I'll have one. It's no problem for me. All right, back up to the top. All right, eats. I started OMAD and I lost 3 pounds. It may seem like nothing, but staying is, I'm going the right direction. It's working. No, listen, hey, 3 pounds isn't nothing. I want to tell you guys a story real quick. Based on that, I have a coworker that has seen me lose weight, asked me how last year. I told her. She told me she wanted to get into it. Then the beginning of the school year, she came up to me and said she had started to do intermittent fasting. She was doing a 60-day window. She had done a lot of research, and she was so excited to get into this. And so I'm going to estimate that this woman is 5'4", 130 pounds. And so she told me she wanted to weigh 112 pounds, which was really on the low side because she's looks pretty fit. She looks like she's doing good, but maybe she has a wiggle room to lose a little bit of weight. So I saw her today and she said, I'm 3 weeks, or she didn't say 3 weeks, excuse me. She said, I'm 3 pounds down and I'm frustrated and I want to quit. And I was like, okay. I'm like, 3 pounds. I'm like, how long? She said, 3 weeks. And I'm like, so wait a minute. You've been intermittent fasting for 3 weeks. You're already in the normal weight range and you've lost 3 pounds of body fat and you're complaining to me right now. I can't even comprehend what you're saying to me. What you're saying is you don't have an understanding of weight because it doesn't work that way. The closer you are to your goal, the less you're going to lose. But more importantly, back to your topic is 3 pounds is 3 pounds. And you did it in 1 week. That's amazing. There's nothing at all slow or wrong with losing 3 pounds in a week. So, all right, the world champion powerlifter eats OMAD, vegan. Yeah, no, all kinds of people do. I don't know if you guys watch the UFC, but George St. Pierre, one of the greatest UFC fighters of all times, eats OMAD. A lot of people are getting more and more and more into it. I think OMAD is going to grow. I hope OMAD grows because it is, for me, the only way to eat. So, 26 people. I appreciate you guys. A few more. You can hit that thumbs up. If you haven't, do so. Remember, if you feel inclined, there is a super chat down there on that dollar bill if you want to support me. But if not, it's all good. I appreciate all of y'all. So let me keep on going down to Crystal. Any prolonged fast is more than 24 hours. You're not really going to have. Yeah, no, that definitely happens. Would it be hard to overheat? I don't know about overheating. I think that prolonged appetites, you do lose your ability to want food after a while. That's for sure. And as far as heating, I can say this much for sure, for facts, is since I lost weight, my body core temperature has dramatically shifted. I get colder so much faster. It's the one thing. Well, if I did a video on the negative effects of weight loss or the negative effects of OMAD, um, my core temperature would be one of them because I feel cold like I never felt it before. Even sitting here on this live chat, I want to put a blanket on. It's just a weird thing that I didn't have before, but other than that, not a whole lot doing it. So there's that. But you basically do OMAD and 2MAD, alternative day fasting. You've lost 10 pounds in a week. All of that sounds good to me. Look, I think alternative day fasting is great. It's good to go. I think OMAD is great. Just remember, Crystal, that if you're going to do alternative day fasting for a while, what are you going to do when you stop? Are you going to do that the rest of your life? Are you going to switch every other day? Are you going to do like maybe a 5-2 later when you get to your goal weight? Because at some point you will get to your goal weight. And then is it going to be OMAD? Is it going to be 2MAD with a healthy meal first? You need a plan when you come off of whatever you're going to do so that you don't get going. But if you're going to do it for life, you are good to go. Just keep rolling. Make sure if the one suggestion that I would have is if down the line you're at maintenance and you feel great and your body's telling you to eat one day and it's your off day, go ahead and eat. Other than that, I think you're good to go. Herschel Walker is the man. I don't know if any of you guys ever saw him. He is a diesel dude. And yeah, I did hear that he does OMAD too. Also, not only a great NFL player, he also fought a couple of times in the cage. It just goes to show you OMAD is the way to go. Terry Crews from America's Got Talent. I think he does intermittent fasting, not OMAD, but there's so many of them. Hugh Jackman said he did, OMAD to get ready for the Wolverine. I mean, there's so many people that go out there and are getting this done. And the more people do it, the more mainstream it's going to be. And hopefully we can grow this channel and the Weight Loss Warriors can be in the front line of that and we can change people's lives. People will come to us as a community because this isn't just about me. This is about all of you and your weight loss stories. And I want to bring you on the channel when you've lost weight. And if you hit your goal, hit me up. Let me get you on the channel. Let's get a Skype session going. We already blow up the comments. We're a supportive community. So I appreciate all of you for doing that. And I think that this channel and you guys, along with me, along with Fast Club on Facebook, we can change the way people look at it. Weight and the way that we eat in this country is just so awful. So I appreciate that in all of you. To your point, it's a game changer. Emphasis on pro athletes who struggle with eating. Yeah, some people do struggle. Again, here's the thing. Some people struggle on plant-based diets. Some people struggle on carnivore. Some people will eat a carnivore and say they never felt better. And you'll see another person that eats on carnivore and doesn't feel quite right. I do think that you have to get used to anything. Oh my God. I got my first super chat. Noah, you are the man. I can't thank you so much, man. That is a super chat in case you didn't know what it is. And he just hit me up with a 40 spot, guys. What an incredible dude. And much love. Much love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And didn't even ask a question, just wanted to say, thanks for watching my videos and thanks for helping me out with that, man. There's nothing but love for you. Nothing but love. How often did you weigh yourself? I weighed myself once a week. I weighed myself on Mondays. Before I wouldn't eat on Mondays, I would weigh myself Monday morning. But throughout the day, of course, my weight would probably get a little lower than that. But I would weigh myself every Monday. Hey Ben, what's happening, man? I appreciate you being a big fan. I'm a big fan of you, Ben. I'm a big fan of the fact that you're watching my channel and you're supporting me. I appreciate it. You're looking to major in computer science. A real quick joke about your friend Mike. He could always eat supper after gym class. Could you say Mike Hunt is sweaty? Mike Hunt, you're sweaty. How about that, big guy? So, anyways, you're looking forward for that to be released. Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, thanks for giving him a thumbs up, Gabe. He's the man, dude. What can I say? No problem, man. You're awesome. You're awesome. Give us your Cash App so YouTube won't cut your super chats. Well, I don't got one of them sweet things yet, Crystal, but maybe I can work on it. I'll tell you what. I'm trying to build it. I'm trying to make it so that we can work together and we can get this thing growing. Everybody's support on this channel has been huge. As you guys know, when we get off this thing, I might be at 2,200 subs. That's in like 7 months. So the channel is growing and people are getting the word and you guys are so supportive. I mean, look, we've kept 25 people through this entire stream. That is amazing. That number is only going to grow and only going to be able to push us into a situation where we can help more people. So the love that I have for my YouTube community is amazing. But real quick, while we're on that, because I only wanted to keep you guys for about an hour and we're approaching that, I wanted to tell you guys why it is I started this channel. I thought about doing this when I had lost about 20 pounds. I even filmed a video of myself overweight. I have highlights of that video somewhere in my channel. I'll probably do another video using that in the future. But when I was sitting there, this overweight person doing this, I sought help on YouTube from other people. And I saw people that were educated and that had done it. And I learned and I tested myself. And I said to myself that I was going to do this if I lost weight because I wanted to help other people get there. And I think that sometimes, especially I get on Reddit and the Reddit people can hammer me and say that I'm self-promoting and things, but it's not about that. I am here because in the comments, every time I drop a video, somebody's telling me about how much they lost because they watched my video. Oh my God, Gabe, thank you so much. Another super chat. You guys are amazing. Absolutely amazing. But this is kind of what I mean. I'm here because I want you to be successful. I am here 100% for my community of people. I'm here 100% for you. And so I want you to understand that I have a Facebook. You are 100% welcome to join my Facebook. You are 100%, well, my personal Facebook, Instagram, my Twitter. If you want to tweet me a question, if you want to Instagram me a question, if you want to drop me a messenger on Facebook, I will talk to you. Hey, thanks, Dub. That's my wife saying she's proud of me. Anyways, love you, Dub. But ultimately speaking, guys, I am here to support you, to make sure you get through on your journey, to be that guy that is here that you can rely on and that you can depend on. And that's what I'm here for. That's what it's all about. So I just wanted to make sure you guys know that my intentions are 100% to help you because I got helped. And not only did I get helped, but I think it's my nature to help people. I mean, I'm a wrestling coach. You know how much they pay me to be a wrestling coach? Hardly anything. I've been doing it for 20 years. I've been helping kids. And still to this day, I have kids that were on my team 20 years ago that have families of their own that still call me all the time to ask me advice and look at me as a father figure to them. And that's kind of what I want to be to this community. Not that I'm, old enough to be anyone's father, but I want to be a figure that you can depend on and a figure that you guys can come to when there's a problem. So I am super grateful to the people that super chatted tonight. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love both of you. Thank you so much. For everybody else, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up for me if you haven't done so that in the replay, YouTube knows that people like this and they want to push this content out to more people. I don't think a lot of people understand how the YouTube algorithms work, but if enough people aren't hitting that like button, if enough people aren't dropping comments down below, it doesn't get out there. And so YouTube chooses really who they put this to and who they don't. And the more people I get to push it out to, the more I'm going to grow. So, and everybody, I thank you so much for joining me today. If you still have a question and you watch this live and you said, you know what, CW didn't get, I didn't get a chance to ask you the question, go ahead and drop that question. Hey, Nicole, it's good to see you. Drop the question in the comments when this posts. In about 15 or 16 minutes, YouTube will load this onto my page as a regular video. So drop a comment on that video. Ask me whatever question it is you want. If you haven't done so, follow me on Instagram or Twitter or add me on Facebook. Like I said, my personal Facebook, go to the Fasting Club, join there, ask me a question there. Do it wherever you can. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate Rose. Rose has always been a great supporter of mine, comments on all my videos. Thank you, Rose, for being a part of the community. Again, guys, I want to thank all of you for joining me, especially thanking my man, Noah. Hey, listen, Noah, I appreciate it, and I'll be live in a week or two. You guys, if you want more live videos, drop a comment when this video loads too. Let me know. I don't know how. I don't want to be alive so often that I bother you guys. So you let me know how much you want to go live, and I'll do it. And yeah, look, Crystal, I don't know much about a Cash App, but I will tell you what, since you're bringing it up to me, I will go ahead and check it out, and I will do some research on it, and then hopefully get a part of it because, all the support I can. These videos do take time, so it does take some effort. And when somebody like Noah or Gabe donate, it's hugely helpful to me. So I appreciate all of you. I'm sorry it's so late, Jay. I'm sorry you got in so late. So, okay, Eric. Yeah, you know what, Eric? We got to talk, and I got to have you back on the channel, Eric, and I got to get on your channel. So, Eric, we got some business to talk about, my friend. All right, guys, I know I've kept you long enough. I love you guys. You're the best. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.